Single dad answered the door, excited for his date. Then she whispered, "My kids are outside." It had been 3 years since Daniel went on a date. 3 long, exhausting years of single fatherhood. Burnt pancakes, sleepless nights, and the quiet ache of loneliness that crept in once his 7-year-old son, Noah, went to bed. Tonight, though, things were different. The living room was spotless, candles flickered on the dining table, and his heart raced every time he checked the clock. Emma was coming over, a woman he'd met at a school volunteer event. She was warm, funny, and had this way of making him forget how tired he was. When the doorbell finally rang, Daniel nearly tripped rushing to answer it. He opened the door to find Emma standing there, her chestnut hair loose around her shoulders, wearing a simple blue dress and a nervous smile. "Wow," Daniel said, smiling. "You look—" But before he could finish, Emma leaned in slightly, her voice barely above a whisper. "My kids are outside." He blinked. "Oh, outside?" She nodded, eyes full of apology. "I'm so sorry, Daniel. My babysitter canceled last minute. I didn't want to cancel on you again, but I didn't know what else to do." For a moment, Daniel froze. His perfect evening, the one he'd imagined for weeks, was slipping away. He looked past her and saw 2 little faces peeking from the car, a boy about Noah's age, and a smaller girl clutching a stuffed bunny. Then, as if on cue, Noah came running from the hallway, his Spider-Man socks sliding on the floor. "Dad, is she here?" Emma looked embarrassed. "I can take them home if it's too much." "I understand." But Daniel looked at her, then at the kids waiting in the car, and something in his chest softened. He knew that look, the exhaustion, the guilt, the constant balancing act of being a single parent. He smiled gently. "Why don't we invite them in? Pizza night instead of date night?" Her eyes widened, then filled with relief. "Are you sure?" "Absolutely. Noah's been bragging about his Lego castle. Maybe your son can help him build a tower." Within minutes, the house was alive with laughter. The kids bonded instantly, the living room floor turning into a fortress of Lego bricks and crayons. Emma sat at the kitchen table, her hands wrapped around a mug of tea, finally able to exhale. "This wasn't what you planned," she said softly. Daniel shrugged, smiling. "Maybe it's what we both needed." Later that night, after the kids fell asleep on the couch in a pile of blankets, Emma helped Daniel clean up. She looked at him with a mix of gratitude and disbelief. "You didn't have to do all this," he smiled. "Neither did you. You showed up even when it wasn't perfect. That means something." She laughed quietly, tears shining in her eyes. "You're too kind." Daniel shook his head. "Just someone who understands." The night ended not with candles or slow music, but with shared laughter, the soft hum of cartoons in the background, and 2 single parents realizing something rare. Kindness was its own kind of spark. As Emma carried her sleeping daughter to the car, she turned back to Daniel. "You know, maybe next time we actually get that dinner." He grinned. "Next time, definitely." As the car drove away, Daniel glanced at the sleeping kids on his couch and whispered, "Not every love story starts perfect. Some start right where the heart remembers how to care." Next morning, sunlight poured through the blinds, painting golden lines across Daniel's living room. Empty pizza boxes sat on the counter, Lego bricks covered the floor, and 2 little kids were still sleeping soundly on the couch. Daniel smiled to himself. The night hadn't gone as planned, but somehow it had felt right. A knock at the door pulled him from his thoughts. It was Emma, holding a tray of muffins and wearing a shy smile. "Peace offering," she said, "for turning your Friday night into a daycare." Daniel chuckled. "You mean saving me from another frozen dinner?" "I'll take it." They laughed, and for a moment it felt easy, natural. The kids woke soon after, and within minutes, his quiet Saturday morning had turned into a mini circus of cartoons, cereal spills, and laughter that filled every corner of the house. When Emma went to grab her kids' coats, Daniel caught a glimpse of something on her arm, faint bruises half hidden under her sweater. He didn't say anything at first, but when their eyes met, she realized he'd seen. She looked away. "It's nothing, just old stuff." But Daniel's heart sank. He didn't press, just nodded quietly and helped zip up her daughter's jacket. "You're safe here," he said gently. That simple line hit her harder than she expected. Her ex had left scars, not just physical ones, but the kind that made her flinch when someone was kind without reason. Over the next few weeks, their friendship grew naturally. They'd meet at the park with the kids, share dinners, and swap parenting hacks that mostly involved bribing children with ice cream. One evening, after the kids were asleep, Emma sat on the porch swing beside Daniel. The crickets hummed softly and the air smelled of rain. "I almost didn't come that night," she admitted. "I thought, no one wants to deal with someone like me, 2 kids. A mess for a past." Daniel looked at her, his voice steady but warm. "You're not a mess, Emma. You're a mom who shows up, then that's everything." She smiled through tears. "You really think so?" He nodded. "I know so." She looked at him for a long moment, not with romantic butterflies, but with something deeper. Trust. Weeks turned into months. Their kids started calling each other almost siblings. Movie nights became routine, laughter became home, and Emma slowly began to believe that kindness wasn't just temporary. Then one Sunday morning, as Daniel flipped pancakes, Emma walked into the kitchen, holding a small potted plant. "What's this?" he asked. She grinned. "Our first official date gift. I figured we've already done the chaos part. Now we try growing something," he laughed. "A plant? I can barely keep a goldfish alive." "Then we'll do it together," she said softly. He smiled, realizing this messy, beautiful, unplanned life was more than a love story. It was healing. Months later, their 2 families became one. The kids stood side by side at a small backyard ceremony, blowing bubbles and giggling while Daniel and Emma exchanged vows under the old oak tree. No fancy venue. No perfect plan. Just 2